Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'm your host, Zarataro here. Welcome to Yo, You Like That, the show where I bring on guests and we talk about stuff that's fun, stuff that's interesting, stuff that is amazing and that you should know about, and therefore your life is enriched. We have a very special super guest today. We've got NyanakoVT. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
That's good to hear. For the uninitiated, please feel free to introduce yourself.
I'm Nyanako. I'm a trash kitty, definitely not an opossum. I took a really long break from VTubing like the past year, and I've just been trying to start getting back into it recently, within like the past month or so.
Mood. Total mood there. I feel you.
Mm,
Sometimes it's good to just step away for a second.
yeah.
That's cool. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to further shenanigans involving not
Mm-hmm.
possums. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Here we've got the game that you picked to show with us today, the Herbs, Sims in the
Mm-hmm.
City.
Specifically the console version, which I am kind of like one of the weird ones who like it more than the. Well, I haven't really played much of the handheld, which is the one people like. I borrowed it from like a friend for a couple of hours, but that's it.
Oh,
So I know a
see.
little bit about it, but like not as much as I do the console.
Yeah, so the console one's one we're going to be mostly focused on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Let me go ahead and get up the. You offered some gameplay to have show in the background too, which was
Mm-hmm.
nice. I get this actually playing now. Why is everything not working as soon as I have it working?
I
No,
yes,
everything's
that's blue
breaking.
sky.
Everything's falling apart. There we go. Yeah,
Alrighty.
we've got to readjust. There we go. All right. So we got
Alrighty.
Sims and the Herbs for the console.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to explain to it for someone that had never heard of it before, how would you kind of like introduce it?
So it's like the like frame, basically like a framework, like the end, like it's sort of like Sims, except that's blue sky again on the screen.
That's Blue Sky again.
um, so it plays sort of like The Sims, at least on a base level, but instead you're in a city and your goal is to try to earn rep by like talking to people and doing like quests and jobs and stuff and like dressing up in the correct like zone attire to try to become the most famous herb in the city. And like also you have to defeat villains and stuff who show up
You have
periodically.
villains to defeat? No way.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the gameplay do show that was one getting like his ass stink bombed. Oh, sorry, is cursing allowed here?
Oh, cursing's solely loud here. Don't let the
Okay,
cute
good.
demeanor.
Yeah. So like yeah, you have to defeat villains and they'll drop parts of like a secret machine, and if you get all of them, there's this guy named Darius who's like currently the most popular guy, and he'll give you his penthouse if you defeat all the villains and get all the parts.
Oh wow.
And said secret machine is a money printing machine.
It's a
Uh-huh.
okay. If there was ever a long-standing joke for The Sims, it's a money printing machine.
Mm-hmm. Especially Sims 4.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the game is split up into like I believe 9 different areas, and the areas are I don't have them like in correct order. I'm just looking at the wiki to see. There's Skyline Beach, which is like kind of like a like rooftop area with like kind of like a hip hop kind of like vibe. Gasoline
Mhm.
Row, which is like the bikers. Central Station, which is you're in like a subway, which is what the footage is currently showing, with a bunch of like punks and industrial goths. Cocktail Park is a skate park. The Foundry is like the very pretentious hipster, like artsy fartsy types. Neon East is like Little Tokyo, but like rave and neon.
Yo.
Diamond Heights is where all the rich and famous are. Southside Bridge is the mafia, and Cosmo Street is the big part of this game, the Black Eyed Peas location. Because
Hey,
the other
gotta
thing
hack.
about this game is that it was a collab with the Black Eyed Peas, and their music is in this game.
That
Oh,
makes
and
it
very
hard when it
quiet.
comes to streaming it. That's I'm sure.
Yeah, I had to mute my audio when I went to that area. I had to like mute the game audio when I went to that area.
Boo, boo. They gave permission for it. It's in the game. Ah.
And there's like one song in Kicktail Park also that gets caught by DMC because the soundtrack to this game is pretty good besides for one specific song which I can show you later if you want.
Ooh, most
Um
definitely.
and the soundtrack is very good, so I would use it for streams sometimes. And there's like this one song that kept getting claimed that wasn't Black Eyed Peas related.
Interesting. So I'm always so curious, like whenever it comes to game soundtracks, and
Mhm.
whenever something gets picked up, because sometimes I'll get like a copyright flag, but it's like,
Yeah.
but the reason is it's okay. We're just letting
Mhm.
you know, and it's like I don't.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with this information? How will this
Exactly.
enrich my life?
Like none of them have ever been like taken down, but it's been like, hey, if you make money from that, we're taking it, which I don't. So,
Right? Oh no, my pennies, all of my pennies.
oh no, my $0.
I once got a check from YouTube for 14 cents.
Wow. I'm
I
not
did.
even monetized there yet.
I was gonna say it was a long time ago. They changed their monetization,
Ah,
so I
gotcha.
didn't get grandfathered in. But
Gotcha.
but yeah, 14 whole cents. I'm like, yeah, big money. It costs more to print this check than the check is actually worth.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sims on the console was definitely I want to say this was Sims 2 era, right?
Actually, from what I read, because I did do a little refresher of myself, apparently this is technically Sims 1 era.
Really? Oh wow.
Basically, it was released after Sims 2, but it was like in development during like the end of the Sims 1 era. Or
Oh,
like it
okay.
started development during Sims 1 era, got delayed, and then was released near the beginning of Sims 2.
Okay,
And
that
I'll bring
like
that up later.
that would make a lot more sense in regards to how game design works.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so crazy
And
though
I'll
because
yeah.
like SimCity's always had like a little console version, as it were, like ever
Mhm.
since back on like the Super Nintendo. You had the SimCity for
Oh,
where you like Bowser would come in and
mm,
like crash everything.
mm. Oh, Toys say I will be bringing that up later. Don't you worry.
And so getting another console version of the Sims, that which was
Mm,
EA's like most popular thing at the time, because
mhm.
people were crazy about the Sims.
This was
Like,
actually supposed to be like a brand new like spin-off franchise. Like this was supposed to be like a new like kind of like side avenue for money.
and I don't blame them. This game, the Herbs, I worked at a game store back in my youth,
Hmm.
and this would always sell out like immediately. Just
Really?
like
Wow.
anytime we would get it in stock, like people would be like, "Ooh, I want this." It is
Really? Wow.
street. I am a street person.
Yeah, I grew up in like a big city too, so that's probably why I liked it.
It's so cool though.
Partial.
I like having like all the different factions and
Exactly.
it being like a oh what's that movie called? Well, the Warriors. It's like all the different
Mm,
like the Warriors where you've got like the South Side, the East Side, the North Side.
mm. Yeah, it's
It's
got a
still
lot
you
of
don't
like
get that in games as much anymore, where you got your
no.
factions. Nowadays, it's all just zombie Nazis still.
Mm. Yeah, it's like it was like interesting because like you got like a lot of different like styles and stuff. Even if it was like very limited in customization, you got like a lot of different styles and stuff to choose from. Like you'll see the game footage, it's going to Skyline Beach now, and you'll see they're dressed up completely different from the industrial goths and punks.
No, my industrial punks. I'll have to go back to IHOP.
And also this
I was
yeah.
gonna say, which about this game kind of like cements itself in your head as like something that's like really, really, really cool.
It's just very like how different it is from normal Sims and like having like all the different like locations and styles and stuff. And also just like how absolutely chaotic it can be sometimes. Like I don't think it's in this version of like this pod, but there's like just one time where I was doing a mission and like I was like waiting for an interaction. Someone from the bike, I was in the rich zone. Someone from the biker area came, choke slammed somebody. Then I was had to kiss somebody that same sim for a mission, and as the little pop up of like, "Yay, you did the side quest happen," they got choke slammed in the background yet again.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. That would cement itself in my mind as this game is awesome.
Yeah, and there's just like a lot of like the old flavor of like Sims stuff, like the pre Sims 4 era, where they like kind of like sanitized a lot of stuff. It has a lot of like that like weird kind of like flavor and stuff.
Yeah. The not quite naughty stuff, but at the same time, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
very
Like
flirty.
yeah, like there's actions like firecracker dance, strip tease, tag face as like different social interactions that you can do.
I mean, you can take the naughty out of the man, but you can't take the naughty out of the sim.
Nor the player base, as we clearly know based on
Oh
certain
yeah,
mods that exist.
just a few, 100,000 at this point,
Hmm.
probably.
Hmm. Yeah.
You were telling me that there's a difference between the handheld ones, right, and the console
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. So basically, how this one and the handheld version of the previous spinoff, Bustin' Out works, they're actually linked. Those two handheld versions. Um, Basically, how they are is like they're actual RPGs, basically, except like with like some of the lifestyle, like life sim stuff built in a little bit. But they're a lot more like RPG than Sims game.
Okay,
Like you can like I haven't played them in a long time, so I might be remembering wrong, but it's like you could do jobs which were mini games, and you did have like stuff you had to take care of like hygiene and hunger and whatnot. But it was like very much more like streamlined than a normal Sims game is.
gotcha. It's like these are the tasks you can do to do these
Mhm.
things,
And it
and
also had a
then
storyline.
I
Uh
gotta get all your points up, your macho points up.
yeah. Though actually, for chat, this does share a couple of items with the console busting out version. I noticed there's like the hair and the plates. There's one hairstyle and the plates are the same, so they did reuse some assets. But yeah, basically in busting out handheld, you're like at your like uncle or grandpa's farm, and you have to like do stuff. I don't remember the whole storyline, but basically the ending is it turns out you're like Superman and you like crashed on this planet as a child and you're actually an alien and
Yeah.
like the end of the game is like you're trying to fly off home, but then in the beginning of Herb's handheld you crash into a city instead
Oh no.
and like you have to clean windows, you're arrested for some reason, and then you have to try to take down like this big fat cat. I think his name is Moneybucks,
Ooh,
Daddy
that's an evil
Moneybucks or
name.
something.
An evil mafia name. Moneybucks McGee.
Well, he's more of like big business tycoon type of dude.
In
But I
in
don't
in my
know.
eyes, eat the rich.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know that much about the handheld because, like I said before, I had only like borrowed it from like a friend once or twice. Like I know a little bit about the busting out handheld because I had it, but I didn't have herbs. The one thing I did apparently find out was that the handheld herbs they ported it to the DS and it was one of the launch titles.
Really? I feel like I missed
Apparently,
that.
yeah. So I think busting out handheld was just Game Boy, but then herbs handheld was GBA and DS.
Okay. Gotta make those different versions. 8 versions
Mm-hmm.
of the same game, they're all different versions.
Oh yeah. There's the GBA, there's the DS, there's the PlayStation, there's the Xbox, and there's the GameCube one. And they all apparently have little differences, but I've only played the GameCube one, so I only know like the main one difference with the GameCube one.
Ooh, GameCube one best.
Yeah, in the GameCube one, like there's one like you can get like little apartment you like unlock little apartments throughout the game that aren't in any zones. And in the second one, they have a wardrobe that's like shaped like well not shaped, but like colored and styled after the purple GameCube. I can try to find an image of it real quick.
Cool.
But like that's the one thing I
Gotta
know is
style
different.
that way.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm a little sad that there's not like more versions of like this like nowadays. Like
Yeah.
uh they were what was it? It was My Sims for a while there. They started to go like a chibi
Yeah,
style aesthetic
they
for
actually
the
brought it
console
back.
versions.
Yeah, they brought it back recently. They had like a cozy bundle of some of the My Sims games.
And those sold well, but at the same time, it still doesn't I have quite like the aesthetic as the herbs. The herbs is part of I feel like a generational thing. There was like Grand Theft
Mm-hmm.
Auto was popular, Saints Row, Monster Trucks, Twisted Metal, and the
Mm-hmm.
herbs.
I can't find a video of it. Maybe like it'll show up in the gameplay. I don't remember when I unlocked the closet in the gameplay. But I was like, like showed chat like, yeah, look, isn't it cool? I think it does show up in this one because I remember there was a point where like I went to take a break and I left it like in the closet playing music, and then Let's Get It Started coming, which is like, ah, shit, DMCA.
DMCA. Audio Jungle, Audio Jungle.
Yeah, but I was gone and like I didn't expect it to play that in the closet because it was playing other stuff. So I was like, oh god, like I came back at the very end and I was like, ah, fuck.
It's all good. It works itself out in the end. It's just how I have to.
Yeah.
That's my like stance on it. It's like it'll work
Mm,
itself out.
mm.
What were some like um I was gonna say like in the game are there parts that were a little like aggravating it being like on a
Yeah.
console to play?
Yeah, well, like the one thing is that the routing in this game can be very bad. Basically, like sometimes you will try to be getting out of a place, and a sim will and an herb will be trying to get in, and so neither of you will be able to move because they are blocking the door and you are blocking the door, and so you have to like get them to go like yourself to go somewhere else so they can come in and then you can go out.
Oh,
Like that's
I
one
didn't think
thing about
about
this
that.
game. Yeah. And the other thing that's a little annoying is that so like the villains, they show up randomly. So if they come very early when you're in a like city, like an area, and you haven't unlocked okay, there's another part of this game I should have mentioned. There's these things called power socials that you can only get when that Darius guy hosts a party in the secret in the little like VIP room of each area.
Yeah.
And you use those power socials for some quests, but mainly to fight the villains. And so if the villain comes very early on when you get to a new area, they'll basically mug you and everybody else and then leave. And then you have to wait for them to come back.
No, that sounds dumb. Why they show up
Yeah.
early?
Well, some it's a random chance. They come at kind of random. So like
Oh,
sometimes you can have everything you need ready to go and beat their ass. But then other times it's like, oh well, fuck, I have to wait for them to come back. Yeah, and this was an
damn it
issue
all!
because yeah, because I did find out something very funny during playing that I hadn't realized before or hadn't seen before. If you are doing a job in the game, while they come, they will leave. They will just leave. Like for some reason they respect you working and just take their asses home.
I just
And
imagine the conversations like, "Hey, look, it's that guy. We got to go rough him up." No, no, no. He's working the cash register. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll get him
yeah.
later. We'll get him later.
And that specific instant came to bite me in the ass later because I think they were the last one I had to defeat because
Ah.
they came and left because I was working. So I had to sit around biker area and wait for them to come back. And I guess I can talk a little bit about the villains. There are,
Yeah.
I believe, there's three of them. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure there is three of them.
Three
There
Kings of
is,
Stroheim.
yeah, there is Kiki Blunt, who is this kind of like punk kind of rocker girl with green hair and like a mini skirt and a crop top. Oh, apparently. Oh, also there was an Herbs comic they made, and I mentioned that because on the wiki it says that apparently she's like lesbian or bisexual because she kissed some. She's in a relationship with another female herb.
Oh, let's go.
So yeah, and also parts of her outfit can be bought at different areas, except her boots. Apparently, they can be obtained in debug mode, and apparently she's in the start screen when you're creating an herb. She's there apparently. But yeah, she's like the
Interesting.
punk one. She shows up in the Mafia Town, the Artsy Fartsy Town, and Kicktail Park are the three areas
Wow,
she
the art
shows
for
up in.
this is not great.
What, the comic? Oh,
Yeah.
the game. Mm. Some of it's cool, and I know in Central Station, this comic for Central Station, they mentioned somebody being their dream girl, like another character mentioning their dream girl. So it's cool to see because this game was 2004, so you have like pro LGBT stuff in a comic for a Sims game from 2004, which is
Yes,
pretty cool.
way ahead of its time.
Yeah, and then there's I don't know how to say this guy's name, Rangu McBain. He was the guy who showed up at the beginning of the gameplay footage. He has a bunch of tats, shorts, boots, and huge nipple rings. He
As they
shows
should
up.
be.
Yep, he shows up in the subway in Black Eyed Peasville and the rich people place. And then the last one is Harry Sneville, who is also your fucking landlord. Because basically, for those like little apartments you unlock in the game, you'll get a call every so often saying, "Hey, where's my money?" And if you don't pay him, he'll steal stuff from your apartment.
Oh my god.
But he's also a villain, and he shows up in Biker Town in the Skyline Bridge area, which is like the big rooftop hip hop area, and in Neon East, which is like the rave little Tokyo place.
Landlords are the enemy. Wow, this really was ahead of
Yep.
its time.
Uh huh.
trying
Very
to
much so.
trying to evict you so I could turn this into an Airbnb.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
Ah,
The gameplay in the screen is reminding me of one very unfortunate thing I found out like a month or two ago. Apparently, in the localization in like the Japanese and Korean versions of this game, they made changes to how the herbs looked. Like they looked
really?
different. Like I saw a comparison video, and they do change them slightly. The unfortunate thing is, so that character that was like on the screen in the phone for a while, with like the kind of like interesting hair, like pigtail hairstyle, where
Yeah.
they were like bottled to take pigtails. They whitewashed that guy. He's just
Ooh.
a white dude in the Japanese version, which is very
Okay.
strange.
Yes. They just felt like they just needed a big old white dude there.
Yeah, with like ponytail dreads, pigtail dreads.
Sometimes
I have no
localization doesn't
idea.
make any sense, whether it's one way to the
Yeah,
other.
no. Yeah. It was just I saw that recently. I was like, ooh, why? Because like I found a like video where they compared the openings, and it's just like whiplash seeing the right side of the screen having that.
Like I guess in their head they're like, nah, this guy should be European or something. He's
Yeah.
on Japan from for a visit for a vacation.
Mm. Yeah, it just like the thing is like all the other herbs in the video look the same. He was just white.
Just white.
Yeah, and like very
Night
weird.
the light. Wait, light the night white.
Like I get they're goths, but still, come on.
Oh no, it's a ghost. No, no, no. He's just painted white.
Yeah. Like so that's an unfortunate thing. I have no idea why they would have done that.
Yeah, there's probably we'll never know. it's,
Yeah.
it's one of those
Yeah.
things that like in a boardroom, someone looked at that and just like made a decision.
Yeah.
They're like,
And
I don't regret this.
and it's like who knows if even EA would know because who knows like like if it was their own studio or if it was like localization from like some
Oh,
Japanese studio who was like, "Hey, we
I
want
doubt
this
that
changed."
anyone that worked on the herbs still works at EA.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And like I'll get into this later, talking about like stuff that happened after this game came out. Oh yeah, one other thing about this game is that in those little apartment areas, you can unlock pets if you like spend enough on the apartment.
What?
And basically you only get three little like interactions with them. It's like I think pet, play, and feed, and they're all fucking weird. But the last one is the weirdest one.
Speed?
Like, oh, what? Okay, my trash can's on screen for some reason. Okay.
Hello, trash
Um,
can.
like if you go near the end of this video, like to when I am in the penthouse, you will see the most bizarre what the fuck looking little thing in existence. So your three pets are like a bulldog, a very very trash looking cat, and I shit you not, a monkey in a bandana t-shirt and baggy jeans that are sagging.
Yo, let's go.
Like that was such a thing. I was like, I can't end this here. What the fuck is this?
Yo, monkey's got swagger. Monkey's got swagger.
And basically, like your play option with it was like trying to get it to hit a baseball and it just hits you in the knee instead. But yeah, the monkey should probably be showing up not in a little bit in this video because I think this is when I come back after getting all the furniture to come decorate the place. So and yeah, that's the money printing machine.
Cha-ching,
So
cha-ching,
all
cha-ching.
the skill like mini games in this game and this are button mashers. So you have to get it to the top to get it to go faster.
Oh, button bashers.
Yeah,
Ugh,
like the
my
job mini
fist.
games are like you have to press buttons in a certain order, but like and like do a couple of tasks, but this and like the three skills are all button mash. So also
Whoever thought that was good, like gameplay design, I want to go up
yeah,
there and
no,
just
I
kind of
can't do
slap
it
them.
anymore. I get pain in my fingers now. I didn't when I did it
Right?
back
I was
then.
playing Mario Party recently, and I'm like, I'm dying. I am
Yeah, like
dying just pressing this one button repeatedly.
yeah. Basically Genshin either sped up or gave me carpal tunnel or something. And this was
It's-
before that by a couple of months, so I got lucky. But and also mentioning the furniture items, these ones have like descriptions and stuff. Like still the modern games had that too, and some of them are very funny. Like one I remember in particular is that there's an item in the artsy fartsy place that's like it's supposed to be a dog, and the end of it either ends with I always wanted a dog, or my parents never let me have a dog. It's supposed to be like an artsy representation of a dog, and that's how it ends.
That's how it ends.
Yeah.
It's the dog inside the idea
Yeah.
that awoken in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this game just has like a lot of flavor that the current ones are kind of missing.
They really don't. And nowadays, it's pretty much just Sims 4, right? Like Sims 4
Oh
and
yeah,
like
they've decided they're never making
1900
Sims 5.
expansions.
Yeah, they decided like a year like earlier in the year that they're never making Sims 5. They're just making Sims 4 forever.
Sims forever.
Yeah.
Oh, that
But like you
hurts.
never know because Windows 10 was supposed to be forever and now they have Windows 11. So they might change their minds eventually.
I'm not changing. At least not for a while. I have trouble with
Same.
Windows 11 trying to find stuff, so
I
I'm
think it's
sticking with
ugly.
10.
Why did they try to make it a Mac OS?
I have no idea. Like it's never made sense. Let's go back to 7. 7 worked good.
Yeah, I had 7 for years. Like I did not get when I did not upgrade to Windows 10 until like December of 2020.
Nice.
And it was because I finally got like my big PC that can actually do things instead of a crappy little laptop.
Yeah, go. I've no longer on laptop, but I was on laptop streaming for a year and a half. So
Well,
laptop
it's not that
buds.
you need to upgrade before October, it's that you can upgrade for free before October, I think is what it is. Or also that you get stop getting virus protection if you don't.
I need to upgrade bath. I'm not afraid. I'll fight the viruses myself. I'll go punch,
Mm.
punch, punch,
And
kick,
the other
kick,
thing is I
kick.
doubt I even can because of that weird like thing you need in your computer for 11 to work. It's like there's some like hardware specific thing you need.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, back to herbs. The one other
like
thing that
herbs.
hasn't showed up in this video, I'm pretty sure it's just emulator glitching. Yeah, gotcha. But yeah, basically one error I was getting with this is that like one that I know is emulation error is that like your like portrait's supposed to pop up around the town as you get more famous. For me, it was just a black box, which is a known emulation error. But then I would get ones where like a lot of like stuff on the screen would just randomly disappear for no reason. Like there was one where I was doing one of the job mini games, and suddenly like my herb and just a bunch of the bar just disappears, and it's like okay, bye,
Oh.
and then it comes back, and it's like oh, welcome back.
Leave the bar. All right. Come back to the bar. All right.
And speaking of like flavor, they have so the bar is in the Black Eyed Peas area, and there's an item randomly in there where it's like you can get up on stage and perform, and the acts that you can do are knife swallowing or like fire juggling, which is more just sauce that this game has that newer stuff doesn't because like that's just kind of just like why is this here? But okay, cool.
But yes, yes, it is. Fire
Yeah.
juggling. That's what
Yeah,
I
and
would have
other stuff
picked.
like that is like one aspect that did not age well is Skyline Beaches, like the hip hop area's job. The job you have for that area is boxing up ferrets. You're a ferret wrangler.
Uh oh,
Don't
you're
call
right. That was
PETA.
that was definitely not on my 2024 bingo card.
Yeah.
Ferret
2004,
wrangler.
maybe more understandable. I don't know. I was like maybe 6.
Yes. Ferret wrangler. Look, sometimes the ferrets are out of control. Actually, I don't
Hmm.
know. Are ferrets an invasive species? I'm not the person to
No
ask.
idea, but normally they wouldn't be on building skyscrapers. I don't think. But yeah, let's see. The upper jobs in Little Tokyo, Neon East, you're making sushi. In the bike area, you're working at a chop shop, and also you have to make sausages for some reason. I think you also have to do that in the ferret job too. Like they're just like,
No,
hey, our
not ferret.
customer. No, it's not made of ferret, at least not
Oh,
to my
okay.
knowledge. But it's like, hey, our customers are hungry. Make them food for promo, which was what I was doing when that guy came and left. Basically, like I was grilling sausages, and I was like, okay, I'll do that after I'm done, and then he just goes back home.
Bye.
Yeah, and
And he's out.
yeah, in the subway, you're making piercings. In the fartsy artsy area, you're making like statues out of metal and stuff. It's like called the
That
foundry, so
that's a big upscale from just like
yeah.
doing piercings. It's like,
And
yeah,
it's
metallurgy.
yeah. And like I just remembered about that job. Two of the tasks you have to do. One is like keeping cool, so leaving out of the like area where you're making it. Makes sense. Makes sense. The other one I think is keeping your bladder under control, if I'm
Oh
remembering
no!
right. So it's like your job is to piss.
You gotta make sure you don't piss too much, or you gotta piss at the right time.
Yep. And in skate park you're skating. Um, one of the really weird ones is in the mafia one. You're making fireworks, and you have to also sabotage the other like family's firework machine. Is one of your
Oh,
jobs. So you just take out a sledgehammer and beat the shit out of it, and then go back
oh,
to making
okay.
fireworks.
No, no,
And the
no
thing about
elaborate Wile E. Coyote plan.
yep, and the funny thing about that is that the fireworks often cause fucking fires. There have been times where like the fire have come and like shut it down. And that reminds me, also the sausage grill can also set you on fire. I remember in my like gameplay, like I was like doing like one of the skill things, and suddenly the like sirens that like the rescue emergency teams are coming, and I flash over, and there's a guy dead on the ground getting resuscitated with like the electric paddles.
Oopsie.
And like that's another thing you wouldn't see now. Like just a guy like coming down on a rope, coming down resuscitating a guy with like the paddles, and then going back up is like there's a cutscene where like he grabs a rope and gets pulled back up.
My home planet needs me. Woo, whoop.
Oh yeah, seeing this area again, there is one other very annoying quest in this game. One character gives you a quest of, oh, these two guys are like so like fashionably ugly. Change their shirts. And what you need to do to have that is get them in your crew so that you can switch to them and take them to like the clothing shop. It is the most annoying quest in the game because the thing is, other herbs will randomly come from different areas like on their own,
Yeah.
and there's a chance that the area will be full capacity. So it's like, "Oh, I can't come over right now. It's too full there."
Oh no.
And then the other annoying thing is, you'll notice that in this area, it's the one area that has a fridge. There's good reason for that because they won't join your crew if you are hungry, if they are hungry. So you have to feed them, and that's why this area has a fridge and a stove in it, while none of the others do. So
Wow.
you have to get them to eat, and then finally they will show up and join you. So like that's the most annoying quest in the game because you have to make sure the area isn't full because of course these two herbs are from different areas. One's from the skate park, one's from Little Tokyo. So you have to hope they'll show up, then you have to get them to eat. And then you have to hope there's nothing else wrong. And finally, they will join your crew and you can go into the store and get them to change their goddamn shirt.
all for this one lady's request, right?
Exactly, yeah. And there's like a bunch of little quests like that in the game. Like there's one of a character who I from the mafia area who I call Nishiki because he looks like him.
Yeah, let's go.
So, and of course it's the mafia place, which is very funny. And he basically wants you to mug a bunch of people.
Gotta
Then there's
gotta
one
get gotta
guy,
get your collections. Your
yeah. There's one girl I think in Skyline Beach who wants you to tag people's faces. There's a guy in the subway who wants you to stink bomb people. There's somebody who wants you to take pictures of a couple celebrities. And then there's one where, and this is also very funny in a way. There's one where you have to. It's like, oh, I want some gossip, and it turns out that one character has in the rich area has loose lips if you become like a romantic partner with them and kiss them. It was very annoying to get the character to like do that. And the funny thing is, like, you're given a male, like a guy and a girl, are like the
Mhm.
two options. So you're like, oh, it's in case like to keep straightness, right?
No.
Because it's 2004. No. In that quest, the guy is a red herring. It is the girl who is the one you have to kiss, regardless of if your herb is male or
Oh.
is a guy or a girl. So, very fun for 2004.
Yeah, let's go. Double standards. I love it.
So forcing you to do that regardless of if you want to or not, very cool. And I mean that genuinely. But that was also another annoying one because for some reason she kept rejecting it. And
No
and
means
that also
no.
happened with the tag face one. Like the guy I was trying to get in Artsy Fartsy Land, who they wanted me to spray paint on his face, just wouldn't. So I was just standing there like, let me tag you, let me tag you. And finally it worked somehow. But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like random quests and stuff that you do
I think that's
until
what
you
makes it
unlock
kind of
stuff.
fun, though. That's why I
Yeah,
would always get bored in like
yeah.
The Sims, like the
Like
actual
I've
Sims.
yeah,
It's like here, build a
yeah.
city, and then
Yeah,
get a
it's not like
job.
there's
And
there's not like a storyline like the handheld, but it's more driven than the mainline games.
yeah,
It's a nice little balance, and also the chaos makes it very fun.
of course. And it's in
Oh,
a
I think yeah,
wild kind of
I
like
think this
setting
might be
too.
where the dog furniture item shows up in the footage very soon, because I think we're in artsy fartsy land. Like you can see me like stop to like read it at one point. Maybe not now then, or maybe I go back. Yeah, I go back into it. I think. No, I don't. Okay, but like yeah, because this is the area where that shows up. Oh, this is me
Okay.
preparing food so I can get them in my goddamn crew, I think. And also, this is the plate I was talking about that's also in the Bustin' Out console. So it does share some assets.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that, like, little quests and stuff that are interesting to do. And also, like, defeating the villains and all of that. And also just, like, all the characters being very different from each other.
If a new one was to be made, what are some choices that you would like change in the design?
At the very least, the pathing. Please. Please, better pathing. Please, God. Like that's the main thing I would want, just better pathing.
Okay, I would think by now like they actually have like
Yeah.
an advanced level of AI for the
Yeah.
actual like NPCs.
Yeah. And I guess just more customization because there's only like a couple of options per place. And they're both gender locked.
Oh
So,
yeah.
bringing up a sequel, I will get into what I foreshadowed before. There actually was supposed to be a sequel to this game, and it was
What?
in development.
No way.
Yeah. But the game did not sell enough for EA's likings. It sold, from what the wiki said, 2.4 million out of the wanted 5 million. But
Uh,
here's what part of why it didn't happen, I think. EA basically were their own competitor. I'd have to check the dates. Let me check out what the dates were, but it was very, very close. Let me look something up real quick.
I was gonna say I thought you were gonna say it's like they wanted to sell 5 million, they only produced 4 million units.
No. So, the herbs came out November 9th, 2004. Do you know what game came out like 2 months earlier.
Was it Smash Brothers?
The Sims 2.
Oh, that would make more sense. Actually,
Yes,
no, it doesn't.
The Sims, one of the best-selling PC games of all time, too. So basically, they shot themselves in the foot because I understand at that point, like the console and the PC markets were very different. But if you're like, these are both quarter 4 games. If you're picking one for the holiday, which are you picking? The new mainline game or the spin off game?
I mean, you're not wrong. Like that's definitely like a mistake on the release part. So it's
Yeah,
such an
like,
Ubisoft problem too. I know Ubisoft would release like 3 of their own games on the same day.
exactly. So you're like, oh, the game didn't do well, but. It's like, that's your fault. That is
They had such high
literally
expectations
your
for like
fault.
nonsense back in the day. Like
Yeah,
nothing ever like sold quote unquote well enough.
yeah. But like, they were making a and also the EA also shit on it too because in a different game, and it's also a game that's relevant as well. In the Sims 2 console, you can use a metal detector and find herbs, and the character will throw it away in disgust.
No, why the hate?
Because they were like, I guess they were just like against it or something. They were just like vindictive, like, oh, I didn't make enough, it's a failure, bleh.
Ah,
But like, yes, the Herbs 2 was in development. They started producing it like before the first game came out. And according to the wiki, like it would have involved stuff from like the handheld, apparently. Like it would have been closer in line to what the handheld version of Herbs was, like story wise.
the whole like alien trying to get out of here, so you have
Well,
to urbanize up to get your spaceship
no,
fixed.
apparently like it's more so like trying to go against like his name is Daddy Big Bucks, trying to like buy out the city and everything.
Ah,
Like trying to get against him to like God, what's the name? When they like take an area and they like whitewash it and everything. What's that
oh,
called again?
gentrification.
Yes, yeah, gentrifying the entire place, like gentrifying a city. And
Wow.
basically what happened was Herbs 2, like all of you that they had in line for it, was then turned into the Sims 2 console, which is makes it even more fucked up that the metal detector is in the game that has Herbs assets in it. Because apparently if you look in the files, you can find like the cell phone and stuff from Herbs and like
I
some
believe
old
it.
stuff. And like apparently there's a couple of characters that were originally meant for Herbs 2 that they just put into the main cast along with some locations.
Dang.
Yeah, but apparently like it was apparently the storyline was going to be that like after going through I believe it's Herbville is what the Herbs area is called, and then that like they try to move to Sim City and then find themselves like without money or fame and they have to do it all over again.
We gotta do it all over again.
Yeah, and apparently they were going to like introduce like kids and families and like multi-level buildings instead of just like one flat like area and like more like
Yeah.
workable jobs and stuff. And they just removed a lot of that and like reworked it into Sims 2 console.
Damn. Damn shame.
Yeah. Oh, and one other fact, though it's a little contested and I'm not sure which should technically hold the title. There is some like contention whether or not Herbs console or Busting Out handheld is the first Sims game to have weather because they both have rain.
Huh.
The thing is, Herbs did come out after Busting Out handheld, but like I said before, like as much as I'll say that Herbs like console is like more of a weird RPG with life sim elements, it's still more in line with the normal Sims games than the handhelds were. So
Yeah.
it's like, do you count the handhelds as actual Sims games, or is it just an RPG with Sims branding and like a couple of little touches?
Everyone's going to pick for themselves what kind of answer they
Yeah.
want on that.
Yeah. And the reason I noticed that is like when I was doing my brushing up the other day, originally the wiki said it's the first game with Weather, and then it's like, no, Busting Out Handheld's the first game with Weather. This is the second one. And then in the trivia section, it still says it's the first game with Weather. So it's like, I could see, but you could actually honestly throw it either way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how much does it like, because this one, like, as you see with the gameplay, it's way more in line with, what? a Sims game is than the handheld ones are.
Most definitely.
Mm.
Crazy, crazy
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and also this game has two-player split screen for some reason.
Why? Wait, how?
You
Why?
plug in a second controller and screen down like a vertical line goes down the screen, not even horizontal. It's vertical. I'm pretty sure from what I remember, and
Is
you can
it
just
for like
do two
speed
player.
running? If like, hey, I'm gonna tackle half the tasks, you tackle half the tasks.
No, I think I did see a speed run of it a long time ago, and it was single player. It just has two-player for some reason.
Some reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
ambitious. I'll give it that.
yeah, and like one other interesting thing about this game, like just because my mind thought of the music again, this is before they like kind of quote unquote standardized Simlish. So like, because if you like listen to songs from the Sims 3 era or later, you'll notice that they have like some sort of patterning and stuff.
Mhm.
But this is like because I saw stuff about one of the people who wrote music for this game, and they were like, just do whatever gibberish. Like they just had us do gibberish.
Ah,
So it's like another interesting thing that like this is pre kind of standardization.
Black Eyed Peas. We need you to just gibberish.
Yep, they did. I mean, some of their songs you can very much they sound like there's some English still in there, but they do the Black Eyed Peas songs in this game are in Simlish.
Jeez. I don't know if I'd have the balls to go up to a band and it's like, hey, all of your lyrics, can you just like mumble them?
I mean, they did this with a lot of people, I think, because like I found like some of like them, like some of them aren't, but like some of the non speaking ones are just like online released with like no affiliation to The Sims. So yeah, they basically did that. Like there was one guy who like worked on some music for this and also for Sims 2, but I think they also just went up to like normal artists. And I think there is another song that was like in the rich person area that is from like has a normal version too. I'd have to look up
Dang.
which one that is. But yeah, there's like one song from the rich area that when I was looking it up because I downloaded a bunch of the OST the other day and there's one that came up with like a different version. It's like, oh shit, this is a real song too.
And I bet if they made like a new herbs, like it would have probably like the most boss soundtrack nowadays.
Yeah, because like it is like pretty like fucking cool of a soundtrack. Like it's really good, except for one song which I can show you. I would just have to find it. It's in the artsy fartsy area, and it's like the one song. It's like, oh, the Sims, the Herb soundtrack is really good. We don't talk about that one. That one doesn't exist. I'd have to find it real quick, but it's like really like what is this?
I look forward to it, and there's no rush. But if you can find it, like definitely like
Yeah,
bring it, like share it.
yeah. I'm just waiting for YouTube to load if this is the one. Yes, it is. Okay. Let me link you this one because it is really, really something. It's just like, what is this? I just looked at the YouTube comments. There's only one, and it says, "Do not play this shit while you trip."
No tripping, no tripping here.
So like, all of the music is really good except for this one. This one is just like, why, why? Oh, we're at the place with the GameCube closet. Hopefully, I show it off.
There really
There
is
it
a
is. There it
GameCube
is. There it
closet.
is. There it is.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, it's just like I think this is like I think the other two versions got like actual features, and we just got like a GameCube closet, but it's still cool.
It works
Yeah,
somehow. It's
yeah.
all right. We are about that time though, so if anyone from the audience would like to ask a question, feel free. Whether it's involving The
Mm-hmm.
Sims or just in general, feel free to ask a question in the chat.
Ah, and you'll get to see the very weird cat, I think, in a moment, because this is me going back near the end and just decorating the apartments to get those achievements.
Gotta get those points, those
Yep.
style points.
Mm-hmm.
My cat is such a loud eater.
Aw, kitty.
The
And in the meantime,
herbs
I can also,
too. What could be the herbs too?
hmm, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting if like they showed what the places look like after all this time, like how they've changed and
Yeah.
stuff. Like maybe like some areas are like completely different now. Like for
Right?
example, like Central Station is like gone, and now all the like punks and industrial goths are in a completely new area, and they talk about like well, they wouldn't talk because it's a Sims game, but it's just like, oh shit, what happened to the subway? Because like they're trying to like gentrify that and stuff.
Yeah, no one needs public transportation anymore. Everyone better drive.
No, or more so, oh, we're trying to make it all nice and stuff. It's now like this polished like center is the subway now. So now like we're all in
Oh,
like
that's
some
right.
other new area.
Chase out the homeless first. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like and like maybe like oh, like maybe the foundry, like the artsy fartsy people are completely into new stuff and they dress in a completely new way. There's the scrunkly cat.
Hey, Squinkly Cat. I love you.
Yeah. Biker area would probably be the same if I had to guess because that sub like culture doesn't seem to really be changed ever. Like maybe like some more pride flags, but otherwise I'd say it would probably be the same. It'd be interesting to see what Neon East, aka like the rave neon like little Tokyo area would be. Because like would they lead into like weeb and like anime culture? Or would they go into more like rave culture?
That is a hard decision. I would
Hmm.
love to see either.
Hmm.
No. I want the anime. I want them to run
Yeah.
down the hallways with their arms stretched back.
Yeah. And what would the Black Eyed Peas area be like? Would they still try to get them in? Or
Still
would it
get them
be
in.
some
They're a
or would it
secret
be like,
boss.
oh, maybe that could be where all the punks and goths went. Me
Yeah.
that Cosmo Street, the Black Eyed Peas area, is now run down and it's now theirs.
They're holding it. They're holding it by the skin of their teeth.
Hmm. Yeah. The Mafia would probably also still be the same, if I had to guess. Maybe not quite looking like Nishiki anymore.
No, sadly not.
Yeah.
Could all use a little more Nishiki in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see like what they would choose to do because like you said, very much of the time of like what these like niches and like cliques were.
Yeah, like this feels like the art, music, and like society's tastes kind of like blended in to make this game, in an
Exactly, yeah.
area where like it would not have come up in like any other boardroom.
Right. Yeah. Just to see like what they would choose nowadays. Oh, you're seeing some of those emulator glitches I was talking about. Hi cars. Hi
Yeah,
cars.
love them. That's right,
And
everyone.
like
Make sure you go to your local Walmart and download the herbs and play it because it's a good
mhm.
game.
Mhm. I mean EA's totally disavowed it, so and it's
Pretty
been
much
like what?
abandonware.
Yep, it's been like what, 12 years?
Oh man, don't say that. It makes me
Or
feel
like
so old.
20 years, 20 years. Yeah, I hate it too.
That's
I
worse.
hate it too.
Oh man,
Yeah, it would have just turned 20 last month. Unless you're talking about the Japanese version, which apparently released January of 2005.
I need to see the box art for the Japanese version. I bet
I
it's
think it's
wild.
probably just the same, if I had to
Oh
guess.
no, they always use. I want them to like animate it up. I want them to like reverse localize it.
Actually, it could have been different because, like I said, they messed with the models. Like, I can pull up that comparison video also. There it is. Let me get it real quick. Oh, and there's some pictures too I can show you. So, like, yeah, they changed how the models look slightly.
Oh, the box art for the herbs in Japan looks sick.
Well, it's not the box art, just comparing. And there's also one for Korea.
And
Yeah,
Korea
I
one
found it.
too.
There's a video where they compare the beginning cutscene and the cutscene when you get all the pieces for the machine. and get the penthouse.
Gotcha.
But the models look slightly different. And it's just so weird. Oh, apparently this was only uploaded a month ago. That's why I didn't hear about this until now. Yeah, this was posted this year. Wow. And apparently the thumbnail, they completely got rid of one guy's like beard and gave him eyelashes.
Yeah, as is the style at the time.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nyanako,
I
please let
believe.
everyone know what you've got coming in regards to your future streams. What are you playing?
Well, I mean, I have to talk with somebody about it, but like, I just did like one stream of the other game I shall, and there's the other game I brought up to you as a suggestion, Hatoful Boyfriend. I just did a stream of that, and I need to talk with the person to try to get a second stream, like another stream brought up because it was fun and we were talking about maybe doing it again. Eh,
Yeah,
And there's one person I was gonna try to play Phasmo with, but I haven't played Phasmo before, but it just got kind of lost because November was extremely hectic for me.
I hear
So
you
right now I'm
there.
just kind
If
of
you
in the
need
I
if
need.
you need any additional people for Phasmo, I haven't played since a lot of the updates, but
Mm, I can
but
talk to them
but
about
this
it.
but this hamster can get catch some ghosts.
Yeah, I can ask if they'd be willing to. They haven't gotten back to me yet though. But it's just like I haven't played either, but it's just like November was like super hectic for me, so there was a lot of time I couldn't just do anything. So now I'm back in the stage where I'm talking to people, trying to get collabs going again because I only
Yeah,
started trying to stream back again in like October, I think.
sounds good.
Mhm.
Well, everyone, look forward to that. Make sure to go and follow. Let's see.
Yeah,
Shout out.
on Twitch, I am
Yeah,
Nyanako underscore underscore. On Blue Sky, I'm just Nyanako, and everywhere else, I'm Nyanako underscore VT.
I think I did it right.
And if you ever want me back again, I can talk about Hatofo. Oh boy, it is a ride.
So I have heard. If I ever do need like burb experts, I know where to go.
Yes, I know a lot. I can because the other thing about that game is that it's an older style dating sim, which means you can't go around having fun picking options willy nilly. You have to be careful, or else you end up on nobody's route and possibly get killed.
No, the zero route, the deadly
Mm-hmm.
zero route is real.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as getting your head chopped off, but still pretty close.
I mean, I think you get shot, but yeah.
Spare. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming by to watch. We're gonna do a stealth
Mm-hmm.
raid over to someone.
Okay.
We'll
And I shall
see.
wave goodbye. Bye bye bye.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was a lot of fun, and I got
Mm-hmm.
to listen to a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Play herbs,
See,
everyone. Find it from your
yes.
completely and totally legal ROM's website. Yes, totally legal, totally
Totally,
fine.
totally legal Walmart.
Professor
Download
Fang, you
from your
came in
mom.
at right at the end. Big oofs.
What, Professor Fang? What are you doing? Are you playing games? I can't
Well,
tell.
there's
I'm
always
browsing
the
through so
VOD
many
to look
people.
for. I just got home. Big oofs.
Big
There's
goofs.
always the VOD. Don't worry.
I don't like ever since Twitch changed the raid thing to now it's like a big pop up. But oh well. Here we go.
Mm.
Let's go ahead and raid Simone. She's playing some Payday 2.
Mm. Alrighty,
And since
alrighty.
we're talking about
Bye bye
things that came
bye.
out around the time,
Mm.
bye everybody. Thank you so much for coming by. Y'all have a wonderful
Mm-hmm.
day. Thank
Bye bye
you.
bye bye bye.